If you're dating or in a relationship with an avoidant, be prepared for the mind games and the mixed messages that you're going to receive if you're not already receiving them. Hot and cold. One day, this person is blowing up your phone. They're wanting to spend time with you. They're talking to you. They're seeming vulnerable. Then they're quiet. They're pulling away. They need space. They want distance. They're not giving you answers. And when you push for clarity, you get vagueness. You get mixed messages. They don't want to let you go, but they don't want to commit to you. They're hot, they're cold, and it creates enormous anxiety in you because you just don't know where you stand with this person. On one hand, they act like they crave the intimacy with you. They're telling you things like nobody's ever made them feel the way that you make them feel. But then they're just shutting down. They're being cold and distant and sometimes disappearing for days on end. And you are going through a whirlwind of anxiety. You're becoming anxious. Maybe you were already an anxious attacher, or maybe you were secure, but you're finding yourself more anxious than ever before because you simply do not know what's going on here. When things are good, you feel like you're with your soulmate. But then the heartache that ensues when they pull away is beyond belief. And your heart can only take so much. The connection that you're getting is constantly being ripped away from you, but then it comes back, then it's ripped away. This is a person that actually does crave intimacy at a certain level, at a deep level. They want to be loved, they want to be close, and it triggers them because they're so incredibly afraid of it. In childhood, closeness, emotional intimacy was not safe for them. They grew up in households where they received consistent childhood emotional neglect. They weren't given that love and nurturing that they needed, so they grew up to feel that vulnerability wasn't safe. If they expressed themselves, it was shot down, dismissed. Their feelings were not welcome. So they grew up to feel that they were defective and unlovable because they personalized that childhood environment. They personalized the neglect. So they have this fear that if they open up to somebody, they're going to be exposed as being defective and not lovable. So as things get close, they feel unsafe and they feel the urge to push you away. It's a deep wound of shame that they have. But because of this wound, they also struggle to look within. Because if they acknowledge wrongdoing, it confirms their own inner defectiveness, which is too painful. So they look to avoid that too, and they avoid accountability, and they really have no awareness of why they're doing what they're doing. They're not aware of the mixed messages that they're sending. Instead, they're shifting the responsibility of all their behaviors onto you or external circumstances. So you have this person that is very emotionally reactive, but has no understanding of their emotions. So you're going to get nothing but vagueness, mixed messages, hot and cold signals, and it is mental torture. It is torture on your heart because you want the version of this person that is warm, but you can't consistently get that person. So your brain is being trained that every time you're getting that love and affection from them, it can be ripped away at any given moment, which is the recipe for becoming anxious. Now, what do you do from here? Oh, well, you start to heal and you start to let go because you're realizing that this person is just inconsistent, that you can't figure them out. It seems like constant mind games. So you start to heal and you start to detach. Well, guess what? Now the avoidant detects you pulling away, which makes you more desirable. So here they come again, coming all hot and heavy in, blowing up your phone, wanting to spend time with you. They've missed you and it feels like, oh, finally, we're back in that place, and they suck you back in all over again. But when things get close, when that emotional closeness builds and the two of you really seem to be getting to a good place, boom, they're triggered and they pull away again, breaking your heart all over again. If you are dealing with somebody who is avoidant, and they're constantly giving you mixed messages, and you have tried to make it clear, you've tried to set boundaries as to what you need, letting them know that you want that closeness, that you want consistency in communication, but they still go hot and cold on you anyway, and the relationship really feels like it's on the rocks, do yourself a favor. Hold the boundaries, say, this is what I need, anything less doesn't work for me. And if they are not willing to show up for you and make adjustments and work on themselves, then step away. And if they keep on breadcrumbing you, they keep on watching your stories, they keep on looking at your posts, reaching out, why are you allowing them to have access to you? This is a person that constantly toys with your heart, that has no self-awareness of what they're doing. They're not empathizing with you because they're not even considering the anxiety and the heartache that they're causing you. They're only thinking of themselves due to their own insecurities. No, they're not looking to hurt you. That's not their goal, but they're hurting you anyway, and you're not obligated to be on the receiving end of it. You can simply block them, you can hold that boundary and move on, because recognize that your heart is not a toy. You don't deserve to have it played like a yo-yo. You can set those boundaries, look out for yourself, and that's a powerful message, because you know what? There are emotionally available people out there that are not avoidant, that would never play games with your heart the way that they are. You can actually set boundaries and use those boundaries to find a healthy partner, recognize red flags, hold your limits. And guess what? That's how you get to that more secure, emotionally available partner that would never go hot and cold on you. Somebody that is consistent, that would consistently invest into you emotionally the way that you invest into them. But as long as you let that avoidant continue to play games with your heart and play it like a yo-yo, you're going to go through the anxiety roller coaster over and over and over again, because you're on a ride with a person that has no awareness that they're taking you for a ride.